Welcome, curious adventurers, to Tiny Critter Adventures, where the miniature world unfolds in magnificent detail. Today, we're not just observing, we're orchestrating an ultimate survival challenge. Forget what you think you know about predator and prey, because we're about to witness a monumental clash of titans, scaled down to the insect world. Prepare yourselves for an unprecedented spectacle, an epic struggle for dominance that will redefine the boundaries of insect warfare. This artificial environment is set for a showdown like no other, and the stakes could not be higher for our tiny combatants. Our central concept for this grand experiment pits two formidable forces against each other, 1,000 diligent ants versus 1,000 agile crickets. This isn't merely a fight, it's a test of instinct, strategy, and sheer will to survive. While crickets often serve as a protein source for ants in the wild, this controlled setting levels the playing field, removing environmental advantages and forcing direct confrontation. Each species brings unique strengths and vulnerabilities to this arena, promising a raw, unfiltered display of nature's relentless drive for existence. Who will emerge victorious in this intense, high-stakes encounter? The battleground itself is a meticulously crafted artificial environment, a neutral territory designed to maximize interaction and minimize external interference. It features varied terrain, including open plains for direct clashes, rocky outcrops for strategic high ground, and small crevices offering temporary refuge or ambush points. Crucially, there are no readily available external food sources, forcing both populations to consider each other as the ultimate resource. This arena is a stark, contained world where only the fittest, or perhaps the most organized, will prevail against their formidable adversaries. First, meet our ant contingent. 1,000 workers from a common ant species, known for their unwavering discipline and astonishing collective strength. These aren't just individual insects, they are a superorganism, each ant a vital cog in a highly efficient, decentralized command structure. Their power lies not in individual might but in overwhelming numbers, coordinated attacks, and the relentless pursuit of their objectives. Their mandibles are sharp, their stingers potent, and their pheromone trails dictate strategy. These tiny warriors are prepared to defend their colony and conquer any threat that stands in their way. Now, for their formidable opponents, 1,000 robust crickets, each a marvel of insect athleticism. Crickets, unlike ants, are primarily solitary creatures, relying on their powerful jumping legs for escape and their strong mandibles for defense. They possess incredible agility, capable of leaping many times their body length in an instant, making them difficult targets. Their hardened exoskeletons offer considerable protection, and a well-placed kick can deter many a predator. Though lacking the ants' organized mind, their individual strength and speed present a significant challenge to any aggressor. This isn't just about a meal, it's about the very essence of survival. The stakes in this artificial environment are absolute. For the ants, it's about securing territory, eliminating a perceived threat, and potentially harvesting a valuable food source for their colony's future. For the crickets, it's a desperate fight for individual existence, a struggle against overwhelming collective power where every jump, every kick, and every moment of evasion could mean the difference between life and oblivion. This is a true battle for dominance, a raw display of instinct and adaptation. The first phase begins with deployment. Gently, meticulously, we introduce the 1,000 ants into their designated starting zone within the arena. Immediately, their instincts take over. There's no hesitation, the ants begin to fan out, their antennae twitching, sensing the new environment. Scouts are dispatched, forming intricate networks of exploration, laying down pheromone trails. This initial stage is crucial for establishing a mental map of their new territory, identifying potential threats, and preparing for the inevitable encounter. Their disciplined movements speak volumes about their readiness for conflict. Simultaneously, the 1,000 crickets are released into their opposing zone. Their reaction is markedly different. Instead of organized deployment, there's a burst of frantic energy. Many crickets immediately leap, exploring their surroundings with individualistic fervor. Some seek cover, instinctively drawn to the more sheltered areas, while others stand their ground, chirping warning calls, asserting their presence. Their movements are less about collective strategy and more about personal assessment of danger and opportunity. Each cricket is an independent actor, assessing the threats of this new, shared world. As the ants spread, their reconnaissance efforts are methodical. Small groups peel off from the main advance, venturing deeper into the uncharted territory of the arena. Their chemical communication system ensures that any discovery, any potential threat or resource, is quickly relayed back to the main body. The ant colony, even in this fragmented state, functions as a single, adaptive entity, slowly but surely establishing a perimeter. Their silent, determined advance is a testament to their inherent drive for expansion and dominance, a prelude to the impending conflict. The crickets, in contrast, explore with a more cautious, yet equally determined, individualism. Their powerful antennae sweep the air, detecting vibrations and chemical signals. Some crickets take up positions on higher ground, using their superior vantage points to survey the landscape. Others remain low, camouflaging themselves against the varied textures of the arena floor. Their chirps, initially exploratory, begin to take on a more urgent tone as they sense the presence of the opposing force. A palpable tension builds as both sides close the distance. The inevitable moment arrives, first contact. A lone ant scout, venturing beyond its main column, encounters a solitary cricket, perhaps perched on a small rock. The ant immediately recognizes the threat and potential food source, raising its antennae in alarm. The cricket, startled, reacts instantly, its powerful legs tensing. It's a standoff, a microcosm of the larger battle to come. The ant lunges, its mandibles snapping, and the cricket responds with a lightning-fast leap, demonstrating the stark differences in their combat styles and initial reactions to the other. These early skirmishes quickly multiply across the arena's growing interface. Small groups of ants, having received distress signals from their scouts, converge on isolated crickets. The ants attempt to overwhelm their prey with sheer numbers, biting and stinging. Crickets, however, prove surprisingly resilient. Their powerful kicks send ants flying, and their agility allows many to escape initial encirclements. Casualties are observed on both sides, with some ants succumbing to powerful cricket mandibles and some crickets being subdued by relentless ant swarms. The initial probing has become a genuine, albeit small-scale, battle. As the conflict progresses, the ants begin to refine their strategy. They learn that isolated crickets are difficult to subdue, so they adapt by forming larger, more coordinated attack groups. Pheromone trails are laid down not just for exploration, but for signaling specific targets. Waves of ants advance, attempting to cut off escape routes and corner crickets against the arena walls or obstacles. Their collective intelligence is clearly at play, demonstrating an ability to learn and adjust tactics based on real-time combat feedback, slowly but surely gaining an edge in organization. The crickets, too, display an instinctive, albeit less coordinated, adaptation. Recognizing the danger of being swarmed, they utilize their incredible jumping abilities not just for escape, but also to deliver powerful, surprise attacks. Some crickets, cornered, will unleash a flurry of kicks, creating temporary openings to flee. Others attempt to use the arena's varied terrain to their advantage, leaping onto higher ground where ants cannot easily follow. Their survival hinges on individual decisions, quick reflexes, and the powerful tools nature has given them, fighting for every inch. The conflict escalates dramatically as more individuals from both populations are drawn into the expanding battlefront. No longer are these mere skirmishes, full-scale engagements erupt in various zones. The air vibrates with the sounds of chirping, the scuttling of thousands of legs, and the snapping of mandibles. The initial caution has given way to a relentless, grinding war. Casualties mount on both sides, staining the arena floor with the grim evidence of this epic struggle. The artificial environment pulsates with raw, primal energy, an intense spectacle of survival. Territorial disputes become a defining feature of the ongoing war. The ants, driven by their inherent need to establish and defend their nest, attempt to secure key positions, the rocky outcrops offering vantage points, the sheltered crevices providing defensible perimeters. The crickets, though less communal, instinctively fight to protect their chosen refuges, areas where they might rest or find momentary safety. The arena's landscape, once neutral, is now carved into zones of contention, each piece of ground hard-won and fiercely defended by both the collective and the individual. Though no external food sources were provided, the very nature of the challenge implies a desperate resource scarcity. With 1,000 individuals of each species confined, the ultimate resource becomes space, safety, and ultimately, the elimination of the competing population. For the ants, fallen crickets represent potential sustenance, a morbid yet vital resource. For the crickets, the relentless pressure of the ant numbers means that every contested patch of ground, every brief moment of peace, is a precious commodity, fueling their desperate fight for individual survival within this unforgiving arena. The battle enters a grueling mid-game phase, characterized by continuous back-and-forth engagements. The initial shock and awe have subsided, replaced by a relentless grind. Both populations have sustained significant losses, yet their numbers remain formidable. Ants continue their coordinated assaults, attempting to chip away at the cricket population through attrition. Crickets, though dwindling, continue to fight with surprising ferocity, delivering powerful blows that can decimate entire ant formations. It's a war of wills, a test of endurance where sheer persistence becomes a critical factor in determining the ultimate victor. The ants display incredible resilience throughout this prolonged struggle. Even when an ant falls, the others press on, seemingly unfazed, driven by the collective imperative. Their numbers, though diminished, still allow them to absorb losses that would cripple a less organized force. New waves of ants continuously emerge from their initial deployment zone, replenishing the front lines. This relentless, seemingly endless surge of determined warriors is a psychological and physical drain on the crickets, who must constantly contend with fresh, aggressive attackers in their midst. The crickets, despite their individualistic nature, exhibit a remarkable persistence. Each cricket fights for its own life with a desperate, primal intensity. Their powerful legs kick with incredible force, their mandibles snap aggressively, and their quick reflexes often allow them to dodge otherwise fatal blows. They are survivors, honed by eons of evading predators. Though their numbers steadily decline, the remaining crickets demonstrate increasing aggression and cunning, cornered but not defeated, transforming their fear into a fierce resolve to resist the ant onslaught, making every ant victory costly. Choke point or a particularly vulnerable area within the cricket's remaining strongholds. Perhaps a coordinated ant offensive manages to isolate a large group of crickets, preventing their usual escape routes. This tactical breakthrough could create a domino effect, leading to a significant shift in momentum, overwhelming a substantial portion of the cricket population in a single, decisive push. The scales of battle, once balanced, now begin to tip precariously. The numbers game becomes increasingly critical. With each fallen combatant, the balance of power shifts. The ants, despite their losses, maintain a formidable numerical advantage due to their collective nature and ability to swamp individual crickets. However, each cricket loss is permanent, and their ability to inflict damage on multiple ants with a single strike becomes less impactful as their overall numbers diminish. This attrition war slowly but surely begins to favor the side with the more sustainable and adaptable fighting force in this confined environment. As the cricket numbers dwindle, the ant advantage becomes increasingly apparent. Their collective intelligence allows them to adapt tactics, isolate remaining crickets, and exploit any weakness. Unlike the crickets, who rely on individual strength, the ants operate as a unified system, learning from past encounters and coordinating attacks with chilling efficiency. This systemic approach to warfare, combined with their sheer tenacity, allows them to overcome the cricket's individual strength and agility, showcasing the true power of an organized, cooperative force against isolated, though strong, opponents. The final push is a desperate, climactic struggle. The remaining crickets, few in number, are now cornered, their energy reserves depleted, their spirit unbroken but their fate sealed. The ants, though battle-weary, surge forward with renewed vigor, sensing victory. It's a poignant display of raw survival instinct, a final, futile stand against an unstoppable tide. Each remaining cricket fights with a ferocity born of desperation, but the relentless, overwhelming numbers of the ant colony ensure that this ultimate survival challenge is nearing its inevitable conclusion. And so, the ultimate survival challenge concludes. The ants, through sheer numbers, coordination, and relentless determination, have emerged victorious, having overcome their natural prey in a controlled environment. This experiment highlights the incredible power of collective intelligence and organized warfare in the insect world, even against individually stronger adversaries. The crickets, though fierce fighters, ultimately succumb to the overwhelming pressure of a unified force. It's a testament to the diverse strategies of survival in the natural world, proving that sometimes, the greatest strength lies not in individual might, but in the power of the many. What an incredible journey for tiny critter adventures.